So today, on the Twingo channel, I'm replacing a front subframe. That's going to be fun. So when I was down there actually doing the oil change, I noticed that the front subframe was pretty cruddy and rusty and all sorts, and had a few problems. Now, that subframe here is basically not a structural member. All it's there to do is to replace, hold up the radiator, and that's pretty much it. It literally just holds up that bumper there, sort of there, and the radiator, and it's quite known on Clio 3s that they basically rust out and they even collapse. But the actual subframe, the main subframe itself inside there, is basically sound in terms of the actual where the suspension is and the engine mounts are and all the other bits and pieces and the steering and so forth. So today is basically taking the entire front of the Clio Gordini apart to basically replace this. This wasn't very expensive, it was about £70. But I think the amount of effort to do this is going to be interesting, because I've got to somehow hold up the radiator and all of that, which shouldn't be too difficult. But anyway, let's get on with it. So this is the front subframe. As you can see, it's actually rotted out, and I said it literally attaches down here. The main subframe down here is completely fine. There's no rust on it at all, and it's it's absolutely fine. This thing here has no real load bearing. It's purely just keeps the radiator up, so it attaches here and up here and across there. So yes, that's what we're going to be replacing, this thing here. So there we go, this subframe is absolutely rotten. As I said, it literally attaches there, and that's it, and it just slots in. So it's pretty easy, but it's whether these bolts want to come out or not. So I'm going to get some plus gas on that and see what happens. Highly recommend plus gas, far better than WD-40 at getting bolts out. So that's plus gas. A little goes a long way, and this stuff is far better at getting bolts off than WD-40 by a long mile. So yeah, get yourself some because it's really good.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
today has just been gusts of wind everywhere, so apologies. So there we are. So we've got one bolt there. We have one bolt on that top beam there, that vertical beam there, and the same on the other side. Like I said, it's pretty manky, so the new one can go in. It's pretty easy to fit. I think the hardest part is probably going to be putting the rubbers from the radiator back into the other one. That's normally hard. Notice that my aircon condenser is a bit worse for wear, so yeah, I'm going to potentially replace that as well at some point. So yeah, the aircon does still work, so right, let's crack on with it.
Stop.
Now you can see how manky the subframe is, the front subframe is. It's just gone, especially on that side. One of the bolts snapped to hold the under tray on, so, but that's all. I've got spare bolts for all this, and that's no problem. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna get the new one out. I'm gonna put some under seal undercoat on it and okay, small hitch. This mounting point is too far that way, because that's where the mounting point is for the radiator. Now, what I'm probably going to do is actually just mount this on here and get it on, and I'll then try and work out possibly replace this later on again. This is only relatively cheap. Again, this will support the radiator, no problem at all. But I've got a funny feeling this was designed not for a Renaultsport, but for a, say, a 1.6 or something like that, or 1.4. Little bit of a hitch, but actually that rubber bung there is actually supporting the radiator on that side. So again, I'm just wondering whether I can do something there, but anyway, it's not a major hitch, but that'll do. It's better than what it was, which was basically rotting apart. So the other side is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to button this up and see what happens. Right, so the new front subframe's in. It's all bolted in nicely, and I'm just going to put the under tray on. Don't know what that is all about, but anyway. So yeah, it's this car led most of its life up in the north, where they put a lot of north of England, where they put a lot of salt and junk on the roads during the winter. So I'm not surprised it's a little bit rusty around the edges. Yeah, the discs are really rusty because it just sits around not doing much. There's a little bit of a lip on there, but well, it'll be fine. Fine for now. But otherwise, yeah, the actual main body of the car is got no rust at all. It's pretty clean and tidy. It's just the suspension components, as expected when you live in the UK with all the salt they put on the roads. So, right, let's get this wheel arch liner back in. front subframe's all in, it's all tight, everything's all back together again, and yeah, everything's all good. So I'm going to go take the car for a test drive. Thanks for watching, and look out for the next video.